We do webinars every single week, well, at least once every single week. And those webinars are to span they span basically everything in coaching and leadership development and building your own business. And if you're a coach or if you're interested in coaching in any way, shape, or form as part of your job or because you're a manager, we have a webinar for you. And once a year, we have an online event. So this year, we are going big, and we're going big impact. So in September, more precisely right now, as of the recording date of this, September 21st is the day that we kick off. We will have an actual virtual conference. So it's a bit more than just webinars. The theme is Awake, Aware, Arise. And I will ask Ram to talk about it in a second. But just to give you viewers an overview of what we'll be doing, the event will be over the conference, will take place over roughly 5 weeks. Every single day that we have the conference, which will be Monday through Thursday for those 5 weeks, we will have 3 different sessions that you can attend. They will be staggered throughout the day so that wherever you are in the world, you should be awake for at least 2 of them. For a few lucky ones of ours who get up early and go to bed late, you might even get to all 3. But they will be a combination of the sorts of webinars that you've come to expect from Coach Arya, as well as some networking sessions, some fireside chats, etc. So lots and lots and lots of content from really amazing coaches and leaders on applications of coaching, on some hardcore coaching subjects, but all with the theme of Awake, Aware, Arise, so that together as a community and all the friends that you will tell about this conference who will attend, together we can start making a real difference with all the systemic problems that we see in the world. So anyway, I'll stop talking now. Ram, this is your baby, both in terms of the webinar program in general, which is so valuable on so many levels, and specifically a longer event, and specifically this whole theme, which is just beautiful, Awake, Aware, Arise. Where did this theme come from?
Yeah, that's interesting. I think it's been coming for a while now, and probably finally emerged in this particular shape. Probably unfortunately in some senses, because a combination of events is what in our discussion, Magda and I and a few people triggered off this whole concept. First of all, we had a pandemic, the COVID. People are suffering all over the world, and there are many leaders who are totally in an absencing mode. They don't even recognize the problem. That's a sad part of it. It's a tragicomedy, truly a Greek tragicomedy. And on top of it, there have been all kinds of cases of racial and immigration based and all kinds of stuff, religious and so on and so forth, terribly affecting those, I would say, are the people most vulnerable, the poorer people, the minorities and so on and so forth, in terms of inequality, injustice and indignity, which no one should suffer. We as humanity should be ashamed of the fact that we are doing to one another. And there are many people who don't even seem to be aware of the havoc that they are causing and the legacy that it is going to leave in the longer term. I still remember in one of my earliest discussions with Peter Hawkins, he asked this question: what were the coaches doing when the banks were burning, or when the climate temperature was going up? What are we doing today? And so in this year, actually, many of us have made several efforts, may not be sufficient. People have gotten together in terms of Eve Turner, Peter Hawkins and others in terms of climate change. We ourselves, along with many others, including the ICFs and others, in terms of the pandemic, support groups, and so on and so forth. But I think, unfortunately, events are overtaking us. Every bit that we do needs to be substantially enhanced and, in fact, exaggerated to be able to provide some kind of meaning to people, both in terms of support to them, as well as making those people who still are unseeing, unhearing, to be able to see and hear and feel. That's not happening. As Otto Scharmer puts it, the movement from absencing to presencing, that needs to happen. And unfortunately, it needs to happen at the leadership levels where it should already be there, and it's not there. So the awake, aware, and arise. It's a clarion call which is not being configured for today. It's from one of the oldest Upanishads, the Hindu scriptures. Basically, what it says is, even if you are physically awake, you are not awake. Your senses are not awake. Your senses are not awake to the insensitivities of what is going on around you. And you certainly are not aware. And so you need to first truly become awake from in terms of your cognition, in terms of your mind, what Sharma would call the open mind. And then you need to be aware in your heart as an open heart. And finally, you need to arise and take action in terms of open will to be able to make something really possible. Which is why we created this theme of awake, aware, and arise. And this is serious business. And so really would like to use this to build as large a community as we can. Though we are not that big, we hope that we would be the trigger point, the lightning rod, as it were, to be able to spread this message. And we are hoping to sort of get many people who equally believe in this. We have approached a number of people who are willing to come and speak with us to our community. At the same time, we are also going to put together panels from our own alumni who are master coaches and subject matter experts in various spaces. We are going to put them together in teams, but all of which will actually in some way relate to what coaches can do in their own way using the coaching framework to be able to support and perhaps heal those people who are suffering today because of the injustices that are being done to them. And so the world finally awakens itself and becomes more aware and arises to act against the injustice, the indignity, the inequality that many people are being subjected to.
I cannot tell you how excited I am for this particular event. I know that I usually sound excited, but this one I love because of how practical I think a lot of the advice and demonstrations, etc., that we're going to hear and see is, and yeah, the applications of it. I mean, for me, the value is going to be kind of following up maybe in 6 months, in a year, with people who attend this event and see what they've done as a result and how they've made an impact, because I truly, truly think that this will be something that everyone can take away nuggets of wisdom, practical actions into their community, into their workplace, to their clients, their family. So it's the event is called, again, Awake, Aware, Arise, and I will add a link to the episode notes / video notes wherever you're watching this or listening to this. And there will be a website, and the website will be awakeawarearise.com.